What's happening, y'all? It's your man, DJ Commando. Welcome to Knhb Live. This is a show that recognizes and showcases talent, organizations, and businesses in the Iowa area. So that's what the purpose of this show is for. I'm your host, DJ Commando, and welcome to the third week of Knhb Live. So we have two guests with us today, and as you see that I'm not in my DJ attire or have any DJ set up, but that's all right because we're just growing right now. So just give us a little bit of time, and I'm sure that everything will work out. So, but anyway, let's get to our first guest. And our first guest comes from Cedar Rapids, definitely in the automotive business, but he got some things that's going on besides just automotive and cars and stuff like that. So my first guest, I definitely want to welcome to us right now. His name is Jim Anderson from Anderson Automotive. How you doing, Jim?
Good, good. Thank you very much for having me. It's great to be here.
Good, sounds good. So why don't you tell my people who you are and where you're from?
From Marion, Iowa. I own Anderson Automotive for an automotive service company. And I've been a native of the Cedar Rapids area. I've been in eastern Iowa all my life. And we've got a great shop, an excellent crew, and we also do some other public relations campaigns and interesting things for the community, which is kind of how you and I met as a topic. So yeah, that's why we're here. Sounds good. So let the people know, like, what got you into wanting to be in the automotives and cars and things of that nature? Let's start off with that. That's actually a pretty funny story. I kind of had to do it by default. So as a young boy, I was pretty hard on my bicycles. You know, we're kids, we're out building ramps, so you could jump the farthest. And so I remember very clearly, 5th grade. In fact, Christmas that year, I was in 5th grade, and I got a brand new bicycle. Right. My dad said to me, he says, you know, you get awful hard on bikes, you better take care of this one. This is the last one we're ever going to buy you. And you know, you're 5th grade, I go, yeah, whatever, Dad. You weren't kidding. You weren't kidding. So when I broke that one, he looked at me and says, you better figure out how to fix it. I'll buy the parts, but you better figure out how to fix it. And that's how it all started. And pretty soon I was buying bikes from garage sales and everything. I took over half the garage, which he wasn't too happy about that, but I said, hey, it's your fault, you know. Took over half the garage, I was fixing all the bicycles in the neighborhood, building bicycles, and one thing led to another. Then, of course, when you turn 16, of course, it automatically evolves into cars. Right. And so I've been involved in just working on things ever since I was a kid. Nice. So what is your favorite car? What cars do you like to work on the most? Well, mine. Right. No, the thing is, I like unique cars. I like cars unique. Obviously, my repair shop is a mainline automotive repair shop, so we work on domestics, imports, you know, like any other general repair facility. Personally, I have an affinity for cars from the 70s. Big old Fords, Lincolns, and Mockerys. And my first car was, which I still own, is a 74 Mockery. Nice. And so, yeah, I kind of have an affinity for that area. But I do like some of the newer sports cars. I have a couple of those. But basically, anything that's unique and different, that's what I like to work on. Well, that's cool. That's what's up. So, and as far as the car situation, like with all these, like, say, the newer cars, how do you feel about, like, say, the cars that were made back in, like, say, the 70s and stuff like that compared to the cars that are made today? How do you feel about that one? Oh, well, you know, it's really two different worlds, you know. Cars have come so far that, you know, the days of having to take a car in every 10,000 miles for a major service and get your tune-up and all that, they're just gone. I mean, cars are lasting a long time, and they go a long time between needing service. And they have adaptive strategy. The computers can adjust to things as they wear and such. And they've become really a much more reliable part of our lives. Right. The newer cars have a lot of technology and things that do make our lives better, safer, and easier. But there is no substitute for the feel of a classic car. I mean, I don't know how many of you have, but you get a big old Lincoln or a Ford or something from the 70s. There is no feedback from the steering wheel. I mean, it's just numb. It just floats down. Right. I call them the Barker Lounger on wheels, you know. Right. It's comfy as this chair, and you just kind of float down the road. Exactly. The newer cars, you know, they handle well, and they've adapted to become a much more versatile piece of our life. And for that, I'm appreciative. But you know, you still have a soft spot in your heart for where they came from, where they evolved from. Exactly. Like the crazy thing about it, my first car was a Cordoba. Chrysler Cordova.
Yes, that was my first car, and I thought I was cool stuff, man.
Yeah, Ricardo Montalban advertised those with real Corinthian leather.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a fancy word for vinyl.
Right, exactly, man. And that was my first car. And then the crazy thing about it, I own a 1995 Lincoln Town Car too.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, like you say, those things float when they ride.
Float down the road, yes.
Exactly. So, a couple more questions for you. Anderson Automotive, how did you get that started, and what year, and you know how many employees you got, and all that type of stuff?
Well, I started actually when I got out of tech school. I worked as a technician, and then life events got me away from that. So I ended up working in sales departments with different like shop supply companies and dealerships. But I was always working on cars on the side because I had my car habit and racing and stuff. And I had a very understanding wife at the time, and we're still together. But at the time, she says to me, "You want to race? You want to do all that? That's fine. But you figure out a way to pay for it. You're not taking it out of our paychecks." So that's why I'd work on cars on the side to make money for my toys. Well, one thing led to another, and I started growing. And pretty soon, I'm working on cars on the side about as much as I'm working full time with a job. One of them had to go. And so I opened up Anderson Automotive as a one-man operation in May of '99. One of the stalls in our garage at home. I licensed it, got sales tax permit, opened a small business, and the rest, as they say, is history. I outgrew that in literally 3 months and rented a small 2-bay, went up to 2 bays.
Nice.
And then we're in there for not quite a year, and then moved into, we were in a small town just outside town, and we moved into Marion, and into at least 3,000 square foot facility. And then in 2003, we were fortunate enough to grow to the point we had a couple employees building a brand new 5,000 square foot facility that we moved in. I thought, man, I got all the room I'll ever need.
Right.
Yeah, a year and a half ago, we moved into our next new facility that I built, and it's 12,000 square feet. We had more than double in size. I have an outstanding crew of 3 technicians, a general manager, and a good service advisor. A good young man from the local high school who comes in, cleans up, and does all the the shop maintenance, and it's great. We've got a good staff of certified people. We really are doing a lot to change how the industry is viewed in the public side. Right on our front counter, on our mission statement, a purpose statement, is to actively work to improve how our industry is viewed through the consumer's eyes.
Exactly.
Because there's a huge distrust, and a lot of it's our industry's fault, and we want to do something to change that.
Exactly, because even like you say, there are people out there now that's like they're trying to figure out who to trust as far as when it comes to mechanics and cars and stuff like that. And even the big industries, it's just like, okay, you guys have all these multi-million-dollar companies and stuff like that, but how do you know that we can be able to trust you as far as working on the cars and stuff like that?
There was a survey done, and and they asked consumers of independent repair, our clients, people out there looking to get their cars and vehicles and trucks worked on. And they asked, what's the most important reason that you chose the shop that you do to go get your work done? And price was dead last in the top 5. Number 1 was trust. Yep. Try to find someplace I can trust. So that's really what it's about, is trust. And so we try to do things a little differently. When people come in, we try to talk to them by first name basis, and we have a little bit different waiting room. We have the living room, nice and comfortable. We have large aquariums that the customers enjoy, and it's just really a different experience for us. And we've taken that a step further by doing some company outreach and public outreach programs. We have the Wheels to Prosper, which is how you and I met. That's this year's program is wrapping up next week. We'll be awarding a car, and we started that. We created the program in 2009, and I shared it with a consulting company out of Los Angeles that I'm affiliated with for the automotive industry. I also work for them and work with other shops all over the country. And the program's grown to over 30 plus shops in the U.S. and Canada give away cars every year.
Nice. Yeah. So what kind of car, you say you're going to give away a car, so what kind of car is this, and the benefit for, and what do people need?
Why do we do it?
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, there's good people out in the community that find themselves with a transportation need, and they find themselves in a pinch transportation-wise, sometimes by not of their own creation, and just the way the cards fell. And so we look for those people that are really in that situation, that aren't looking for a handout, but they're looking for a hand up. Right. Somebody that's already trying to pull themselves up by their bootstraps.
Right.
And And so we each year we get a car that's, you know, maybe has a bad engine or something like that, and we purchase it, and then we team up with the local parts house, Advanced Auto Parts of Marion, teamed up with us this year, as they have many times. Wade's Auto Collision in Marion, he fixes anything we need body-wise. This year's car was really nice, but he gave it a really good buff job and cleaned it up nice, and we had to put a new engine in this one. So then what we do is we take that vehicle and we get it all put together and service it so it's good and ready to go, and then we launch it and accept nominations. So somebody else has got to nominate that person that really goes out of their way to always help others. You know, they puts everybody else's needs first before their own, right, and finds them in that transportation need, probably not of their own doing. And the reason why we take nominations is because the person that truly deserves the opportunity for the car would never nominate themselves.
Right. Exactly.
So what we do is we take that vehicle and we go through all the nominations and we award it to somebody for $1.
Nice.
$1. And I do that because then we don't have to worry about all the lottery and raffle laws and such, because we're just selling a piece of property, and we don't want to get them, you know, wrapped up in something like that and cause more costs. And then they're only paying sales tax on $1.
Exactly.
We don't want to create a financial burden for them.
True.
Yeah. So we're really excited. You know, this is our 10th year.
Nice.
10th time, you know, doing it next. So we did it in 2009. Now this will be the 10th.
Right.
10th one. So. We're excited. We're really excited. We've got a nice Mitsubishi Eclipse, 2003 Mitsubishi Eclipse.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
The engine was bad, so we put a brand new engine, but new to that car, nice low mile engine, and went through, serviced a few other things that needed, and we're looking forward to giving it away to a deserving person, surprising them with it next week.
Nice. Do you know the exact day, or can you say that?
Yeah, next Wednesday. It will be awarded next Wednesday morning. We're going to have it all videoed and good to go. The biggest thing that actually bothers me about the program is every year we get just a host of people that it's hard to choose. Now, every year I wish I had 10 cars I could give away.
Right.
I mean, there's that many people that are deserving it. It's hard to pick just one.
Right.
It really is. That's the one thing that bothers me about it, because you see so many deserving people. And that's just one of the things that we try to do to just give back to the community that's been so good to us.
Exactly. Now, one more thing, as a business owner, what would you tell somebody who is trying to start a business such as yourself? What kind of like encouraging words or positive words would you give somebody that wants to own a business, their own business?
Wish it, dream it, do it. I've got that on my wall in my office, and the biggest thing is that if you really enjoy and are passionate about what you do every day, you'll never work a day in your life. And if you have something that you're truly passionate about, something that you truly want to do, and you know, the business side of it comes in and says if you can, you know, put a plan together and show that it can be financially viable, go for it. I mean, the biggest thing is you always wonder what if. And so get a hold. If you're not you know, really savvy with that, I wasn't. You know, I got with one of the state college outreach programs, and a lot of those are available at no charge for young entrepreneurs, and they'll help you write a whole business plan, do a whole financial spreadsheet to see if it's financially viable, help you put everything together that you need to approach a bank for funding if that's what you need to do. But they really force you to look at it and say, hey, can you make a living doing this? Can you support yourself? Right. Because that's the most thing you have to be responsible with yourself. But no, if you've got something and you dreamed about doing, and you can show that it's viable, do it. I mean, there's days that I wonder why I did it.
Right.
Why did I do this to myself? But
right,
in the end, it's the most rewarding thing, because, you know, it's a double-edged sword. I mean,
true.
The one good thing about owning your own business is there's nobody there to tell you what to do. The worst thing about owning your own business, there's nobody there to tell you what to do. So when you get stuck, you know, you got to make your own decisions, you know.
That's true.
The number one thing, if you're going to start a business, make sure you have the ability to confront. And I don't mean, you know, confront as in anger. I mean, be willing to approach those situations that you find uncomfortable, that are out of your comfort zone, and handle situations that come up. Don't get stuck being the proverbial nice guy. You got to be able to confront things and make decisions when you need to make decisions.
Right.
The biggest thing that will destroy a business is the inability for the owner to confront situations that need confronted.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be the biggest piece of advice I could get. Do what you're passionate about and be willing to confront it.
Nice, very nice.
Yep.
Well, to end off this interview, man, if they wanted to come and come by your shop to see you, talk to you,
they're welcome to.
where are you located? Like,
Yeah,
give me
we're on 344th Street, Marion, Iowa. We have a beautiful new facility. This spring we'll be doing another Little Tykes Fishing Derby. We have a fishing pond on our property.
Nice.
So we open it up to kids that are 8 years of age and under. Can come out with their parents and go fishing. It's fully stocked and they're guaranteed to catch a lot of fish. We're going to have a fire truck on display this year for the kids, door prizes and everything. You'll want to watch our newsletters or our website for that to be announced. And it's AndersonAutomotiveMarion.com. And so we got to wait and see what the weather's doing when the water temperature gets up to where they're biting good. Yeah. So we're going to do another kids fishing derby this spring. And then obviously we're going to be doing the Wheels to Prosper coming up next week. So that's a big deal for us. But yeah, AndersonAutomotiveMarion.com. Stop by anytime.
Sounds good, man. Well, thanks for coming through, man.
Right.
For sure, man. And it's your man, J. Commando. We'll be right back. I got one more guest for you, so stick around. Don't go nowhere. All right, you guys, welcome back to KNHB Live. It's your host, DJ Commando. And like I said earlier, this is a serious show today. Just got some things that are really positive, so we got to get some positive out there too as well. So my next guests are very positive people. We got something for it. It's something that's basically for parents, and I love to be a part of this. I'm a part of it as well as a parent, and I'm glad that these guys could come down and be a part of my show. And I just want to welcome these guys. It's from PGI, my guy Ryan and family. How you guys doing?
Doing great.
Very good.
Good.
Thank you for joining.
So first off, introduce yourselves and let them know where you're from.
My name's Ryan Knapp. I am from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I am founder and CEO of Paternal Guardians of Iowa.
I'm Don Knapp. I'm from Cedar Rapids, and I'm the president of PGI Writers.
I'm Rod Kester from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and I'm Don's vice president of PGI Writers.
There we go. So now we can get off into detail to talk about this organization, because this is a very serious organization, and I'm gonna let them explain it to you. So Ryan, before we get off into the organization, let's talk about you. So how did you get started with PGI?
I got started with Paternal Guardians of Iowa after the birth of my son, who is now 3 years old. So during this time, you hear stories all the time of individuals going through custody, and then you hear stories, dad only gets 1 day during the week, on the weekend, and majority of the time, if you haven't had a connection to it or been through it, you think, well, there's probably a reason to that.
Right.
Something dad did, or there's something in his past, or there's something going on.
Right.
Well, for instance, in my case, we had the perfect example of the most polarizing opposites of parents, and the situation of waking me when the first ruling came back, and I only received the 1 day during the week and the every other weekend. Right. Just kind of summarize the opposites, out of being a fit parent and unfit parent. I have a 4-year degree, never had any run-ins with the cops, no criminal record, always held a job, currently work 3 right now, own my own house, no tickets or anything that prohibits me to drive or to function. And then on the other side, never was able to hold a job, had no place to live, had other kids with multiple dads that she was struggling to feed at the time. And then the biggest one is my son was actually born with positive for cocaine in his system. And despite all that information, the first ruling that, like I told you, and we've had conversations before,
right,
that I got back, I was only awarded the 2 hours on Wednesday and then every other weekend. 2 years later and $25,000 into it, I would eventually get sole custody of my son.
Right. So that basically, as a dad, that woke you up to say, it's time for me to put my foot down and really do what I need to do for myself.
Correct.
Right. So as far as parental guardians, what made you decide to start this organization? What got you started to say, I'm going to start an organization for fathers? So
during the 2 years of the court cases and everything going on, I realized the toll that it took on me and on not only a physical and emotional standpoint, but also the financial aspect of it. The first conversation I had with a lawyer, I was told, it's $2,500 down payment, and then it's going to cost you anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000. Who in their right mind has that kind of money right off the bat, right, as you're having this conversation, knowing that you're able to fund this as well as continue to support your child and support yourself to make sure that you're able to live everyday life. If it wasn't for my parents, I don't know if I would be able to come up with the money for the down payment. Obviously, I just graduated college, so I had the huge financial burden of all the debt that I was in. Just got a full-time job, paying off car loans and then the mortgage of the house that I bought. The other part is the support system. There's multiple times you'll hit some of the lowest lows during this, and if you don't have the friends and the family there to pick you up or to keep you positive or to make sure that you have somewhere to go or people to vent to, it's easy to walk away. And so what my goal was is I realized that there's a lot of dads out there that don't have the financial means They don't have the education or the knowledge to go through this system, and they don't have the support system to keep them through, to continue to fight the battle that they need. So I wanted to address those 3 areas that are lacking, and basically end the fatherless epidemic that's going on, to ensure that every child has the opportunity to grow up and have a healthy, positive relationship with their dad.
And that's very serious, because especially right now, and I was told, I don't know if this is true or not, that Iowa is a female predominantly state, so it's like a lot of mothers and females have like more rights than fathers do. Is that true? I'm not sure.
Legally, it's kind of pushed on that point. You know, we are ahead of some other states when it comes to joint custody, but that's only if both parents agree.
Right.
I think there was a study done in 2011 and 2013 where, you know, 80% of the cases that went through, they all went predominantly toward the mom. Now, where the dad would only get the Wednesday or the one day during the week and the other weekend, you cannot tell me that 80% of dads, especially here in Iowa, are deadbeat dads.
Right.
Or 80% of them, you know, that aren't able to take care of their children. So that right there should wake up enough people to the point that they realize that something's wrong. If it's not the legal system, it's the ruling. So, you know, something's going on. Because there's no way that 80% of Iowa fathers are bad fathers.
Right, right. So now, as fathers that are probably looking out at this show right now, what encouraging words or positive words would you give those dads out there that feel that they have nowhere to turn or nowhere to go, or nobody to even talk to? What kind of encouraging words or positive words would you give those dads that are trying to make something happen in their lives, to be a part of their kids' lives?
Well, 2 years ago you didn't have anything, but now, you know, we are here. We're growing. Year 1 we started with 10 members. At the end of year 2, you know, we're at 55. Now, right now, at the beginning of year 3, we're over 100. So the growth of this is growing dramatically. You know, we are offering support groups that we offer once a month, where dads can get together, kind of vent out what's going on, a safe space to basically come and just, you know, talk about your problems and get together and maybe work out solutions on how to solve these, what's going on in Iowa. Also, because of our membership growing, you know, we offer that support system. You know, we do get together a lot, we do hang out a lot, and then you always have the phone number to call, and one of us will always be there to pick up the phone to make sure, you know, that we can do something or help you out in whatever way that's needed. The biggest one for the amount of hope is this past session in the Iowa legislature, you know, Senate File 2374, which was the shared parenting law, you know, it made it through the Iowa Senate for the first time in the history of Iowa. Now, for those that don't know, what this bill would do is it would level the playing field at the temporary hearing. So, you know, Super Bowl, basketball games, everything, you start 0-0. You start on an equal footing. That's what this is going to do. And as long as there is nothing detrimental to the child's health, safety, or well-being, and no history of domestic violence, alcohol abuse, drug abuse, or some mental disability that would prohibit your ability to take care of the child, mom and dad will start off 50-50. They'll start off on equal ground. Obviously, that's going to determine or depend on, you know, where you live and what you're able to work out. But what this will do is this will give both parents to work together. It'll give them the opportunity for the judge to see, you know, is dad and mom both able to take care of the kid, where the problems are going, you know, what are happening, how they can fix it when they actually go to the permanent hearing. Like I said, the progress that we made on that, previously, we were never able to get it out of the Iowa Senate. We were able to do that this year with bipartisan support. As we see, as we are able to increase awareness and educate individuals about this, the more they're likely to support this issue. And so the bigger we grow, the louder our voice will get, and hopefully in the future, next year, in years to come, you know, we'll be able to get this legislation passed, so then we won't have this problem.
Exactly, and I'm looking forward to that too, because to me, I feel that, you know, there's a lot of good dads out there. I see them all the time, and it's just like they can't catch a break, you know. And so it's like, for organizations like PGI, it's something that, you know, dads need to get involved. If they want to be involved in their kids' life, they need to be involved with an organization like this. Definitely, that's how I feel.
This is step one, correct?
Exactly.
And the best part about this is, we're talking about dads. This isn't just a father issue.
Right.
At the end of the day, moms, you have sons, you have grandchildren. And if you have a son, you want to be a part of your grandson's life. And you want to make sure that your son also has the ability to be a parent like you were able to be a parent to him growing up. So, and then the other big part is this, we see the statistics of how many kids that grow up without a father in their life or without both parents in their life. You're less likely to graduate high school, you're less likely to go to college, you're more likely to become a criminal.
Right.
The biggest takeaway out of all this is, if you have the opportunity to have both parents, you are more likely to be a productive citizen.
Exactly.
Can you imagine the problems that would solve all over?
All over, exactly. Even in inner city.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. So, well, let's talk about the PGI Riders, and then we want to let you guys know how you can be involved and get more information on PGI. So, PGI Riders, how did this come about? Talk about the PGI.
Well, I'm glad to hear, to talk about it.
Yes.
When all this happened with Ryan, of course, he's my son. We have a bunch of great people that I'm in contact with. Rod's one of them. I could tell you so many. I think I got 50 members of Riders. And what we do is that we just came together and said, hey, do we want to do a nonprofit? And we talked to Ryan about it, and so we came together, as a bunch of people did, and now we're riding for Parental Guardians of Iowa. And also with that, we, like this year, we have a ride starting on May 12th. Starts at Metro Harley-Davidson in Cedar Rapids. The proceeds are goes half to PGI, and also another goes to Iowa City Children's Hospital. So that's what we do. We're doing everything for kids. We don't keep no money. We just give it all to the children because that's the way we are.
Exactly.
We have a lot of big hearts in our organization. So I'm really happy and pleased to start this. And like I said, if anybody wants to join, just contact us. Go on the Facebook, PGI Riders, on the public page, and then call out and see if you want to join us. This is a very good group.
Nice, it really is, and and like I say personally, man, I'm glad to be a part of it because they have helped me. Because I'm going through a situation too, and they have helped me. So I'm definitely feeling this, and I'm glad to be a part of this, and I'm thank God that they're helping me get out of my situation too as well. So once again, like I said, you guys can let everybody know how to get a hold of you as far as information, more information on it and all that, and just let them know.
Yeah, if you're interested in joining or following along, the easiest way right now is to like us on Facebook at Paternal Guardians of Iowa. We're in the process of getting the website done. Hopefully we have that up and running at the end of this year. Now, if you are interested in becoming a member, it's all you do is you basically pledge to donate $40 a year to the organization. And what that $40 a year in your membership does for us is it adds you to a bigger list of a support system. It keeps you up to date on events that we have going on. It keeps you up to date when the legislative session is going on. So I let you know when a bill, like for instance the shared parenting bill, when that's coming up for debate, when to contact your senators, basically just staying knowledgeable and proactive in the situation. If you're interested in with the riders, and they're a bike charter, they ride motorcycles and they also drive cars when they do these events to raise money for the UI Children's Hospital and also the Paternal Guardians of Iowa. Their annual donation fee is $20 a year, and you're able to join our meetings. We have our meetings once a month, and it's just a good way to get involved.
Right. So, yeah. So, like I said, it's going to be a serious day, y'all, and I can't be proud enough and happy enough that we have an organization like this. And like you said, it's not just for fathers; it's for parents. Because, like you said earlier, kids need both parents. They need both parents, regardless. It took a mother and it took a father to make a child. So you got to think like that. A child needs both parents. So, I mean, whether you want to be in your life, child's life or not, here's an opportunity to where you can be if you choose to be. So, Ryan, thank you very much for coming, man, and sharing this with us. Oh, you're welcome, man, and let my people know about this organization. So once again, let them know again how they can be a part of this.
Find us on Facebook at Paternal Guardians of Iowa. Write on the message board or shoot me a message personally on how you can get involved. I have an application form that I'll go ahead and send to you, and then you'll write the $40 annual donation for this first upcoming year, and then you'll become a member, you'll join our mailing list, and then you'll be able to stay up to date when we have events and get-togethers.
Sounds good, man. So thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for coming too as well.
Thank you very much.
And it's your Manny J. Commando, and I just want to thank you guys for tuning in today, and I will see you guys next week. Also, we have a lip sync battle in Cedar Rapids at oh my goodness, I'm trying to think right now. I'm losing my mind today. It's been a long day, trust me. It is at the, oh my goodness, I really can't think right now. There's a lip sync battle at the oh my goodness, I really can't think right now. Oh my goodness. There's a lip sync battle in Cedar Rapids, put it that way. You will know it's coming. It is definitely coming. It's at the Fieldhouse, actually. Fieldhouse First Avenue. Fieldhouse First Avenue, Cedar Rapids, April 14th. Be there. Sign up today. It's going down. It's your Manny J. Commando, KNHB Radio, KNHB Live. You guys have a good one. Take care.